So you've seen our previous videos on how to make a standard theatrical flat and a window flat. Today I'm going to show you how to make a doorway flat. We start with the same process in that we have pieces to go down the side, and we've cut halving joints at either end, and we've made a piece to go across the end there. We now need to have a piece which we've made here, which is going to fit at the top of the doorway. Now a standard sized doorway is 6'6" or 2 meters. So that's what we've cut from there to there, although we won't be using a conventional door. We've now cut ourselves some pieces to make the side of the door frame. Again, everything is cut with halving joints, so it all slots together. And then we've made ourselves a little tiny piece to go at the end. But you'll notice we've cut out there and we've cut out there. So it just fits in like that. And then we've got one to do this side as well. And provided we check that that's square, and it is square and it all fits together, then we can just glue and screw that together like we would a conventional flat. Now the problem with making a doorway flat, when you start to put the canvas on, if you started to tension it now, as you can see, this starts to move in, and it'll be the same that way. And also when you try and transport these, they're very weak. So the way to put some strength into the frame is to use a piece of strip steel. It doesn't need to be anything very big. This is 20 mil wide by 6 mil deep, and we're just going to put that on the bottom there, and we're going to screw it here and here and over there, and that will then put some strength at this part of the frame. Before, we now need to stretch the canvas over the frame, so we start at the bottom, bend it over, and we're going to put 2 tacks at the bottom, making sure we stretch that bit. Come round to this side. And then we stretch it as before on all the other flats that we've done. Start from the middle and work out. Now I'm using upholstery tacks. You can use any kind of tack, or you can staple gun it, whatever works for you. So now we've got the canvas pinned down onto the outside of the frame. We now need to cut up the inside here in order to make our doorway. Exactly the same process that we used when making our window. We need to measure in 75 millimeters from the side. And then we can put a line all the way down there to give us something to cut along. We do the same at the top and the same on the other side. We then need to do a 45-degree angle in the corners, just like we did for the window flat. And that's all there is to it. All we've got to do now is cut it out. The middle has now been cut out. We've cut 45-degree angles at the top, so that all folds in nice and easily, and that can be tacked into place. All the way down the side here gets tacked into place. The next difficulty is doing this little bit here, because obviously we can't get it round there. So what I've done is I've cut down the side there as far as that, and then that folds in like that, and then the whole thing folds up like that. And if you do it that way, then after a period of time the canvas doesn't tear. If you just cut it through, it would start to fray, and that would become a problem for you. So fold it over, and now you can tack it into place. Right, so here we are. Everything is complete. The canvas is put down, all the cleats have been put in place, and the very last bit, so we can now use this, is to put in some brace eyes. That screws in here like this. And that's now a door flat that's ready to use. The one thing we're missing, of course, is our door. The easiest way to make a door is to make a plain flat, but just make it door size. You could, if you wanted to, put a proper door in there, but you'd find it far too heavy for the flat, and you'd never be able to move it about. So if you make a canvas-covered door or a canvas-covered frame and paint it accordingly, you'll never be able to tell the difference, because no one can get close enough to find out. So now we're ready to put the next piece to it. Stand it up next to each other, and you just rope it round using the cleats that we've put in. Getting it nice and tight as you go. And then tightening it up at the bottom with a knot. And here we have the finished article. Through the magic of video, we've turned the set round the right way, put it all together, and we end up with a lovely little set like this, just waiting for the artistic painters to come along and make it look wonderful. Once you put a few bits of set dressing on it, perhaps a set of curtains, we'll put the door in here, it'll all be painted, and it'll look like just somebody's front room.